And I'm live. That is pretty cool. Today is 21st of April 2026, Tuesday. And with that, let's just begin. Cool. And today we are going to see, like, we can go to CLI and do CD, LS, whatever you want to do. But what actually is happening here? Like, what is this? When I enter, or you enter, or anyone enters LS, what, what just happened? Like, what went down? Why do I see these things? What is making these things appear on the screen? What is actually happening? So this is, well, right now what I know about this is very similar to this console. When you go to your browser and you just enter console a equals 5 and then console.log 5 shit a, you get 5. So here what we have is an interpreter which reads one line of code and runs it, similar to if you were to type here node and do a equals 5, that read this line and executed that line. And what executed that line? There is a program called node which is running the V8 engine, and it read this single line and executed the code and printed this. So that is pretty cool. Wait a second. Yep, I have to stop this. Download this. Yep. And cool. And console.log a, and we get 5. I don't know why are we getting undefined. I don't know that, but we got 5, which is cool. And we got this because this line was sent to this program node, and a node read this line and printed 5 after executing what it would mean. And a similar thing is happening here. Shit. How do we exit? Okay, cool. Dot exit. And a similar thing is happening here. There is a language, a program, you could say Bash or ZSH, which is running. And when you press enter, this line is sent to the interpreter, to the Bash or ZSH, the shell interpreter, and it reads this line and it figures out what to do when this specific command is sent to it. And I think there is a distinction between functions and between functions that you write and between inbuilt functions. Like here, console.log means something to Bash, to node. Similarly, here ls means something to nodes. The definition for console.log is node has it in, I guess, somewhere in its code, and the definition for ls is right here. So it is aliased to lsd. It is right here, lsd. And what is lsd? Lsd is a binary which runs whenever you enter lsd. So pretty cool. And that is just what a CLI is. Now the question is, there are different CLIs. They do the same thing. When you do CD in Bash or in ZSH, the same thing happens. And if someone says that they use ZSH or they prefer ZSH over Bash, what does that mean? Like, I have no idea what that means. Why would you prefer one thing over the other when you can do CD, LS, all the same things in both the things? So why is there a preference? Because of the name? Because ZSH has a cool name with like a Z at the start, and Bash does not have a Z at the start. Let's see. Okay, first we have to test this theory that we just talked about. So yep, shell is simply a language and an interpreter. When we run a code, or command in the CLI, that is interpreted by the bash language or the shell language, by the, let's say, shell language interpreter, and it runs exactly as it would be exactly as something would run when we enter code in the browser JS console. So let's see. How is that about a theory? Yes, that is pretty solid mental model. Okay, that is cool. Both are REPLs. Okay, real, read, evaluate, print, loop. Okay, read the thing, evaluate what it means, print the output, and loop. Repeat it again and again, which is like fetch, execute, run, something like this. They read your input, evaluate it, print output, and wait for more. Both have a language with syntax, okay, variables, workflow, functions, etc. Both have an interpreter that parses and executes that language. So LA in Bash is conceptually similar to something like this. In the browser console, you are just talking to a different interpreter with a different language and a different set of built-ins. A few places, the analogy gets interesting. Oh, where they diverge. Okay, where do they diverge? The shell's primary job is process execution. Most commands, ls, get, grep, aren't built into the language at all. They are just separate programs that the shell finds via path and forks. The JS console doesn't do this. Okay, that is interesting. It forks the program. Okay, it forks the program. We would need Excalibur using this. Yep, here we have Excalibur inside Obsidian, which is like pretty cool. And it is in dark mode, light mode by default. Okay, so at the top we have our terminal, which does stuff. Terminal is a program which opens a window, and in that window it copies a program called your shell, and terminal gives control to your window to the shell command, and the shell and the shell reads, executes, and prints, and then keeps looping. And how does it execute? If you enter something like ls, which is not a shell defined inbuilt command, shell will do some operating system calling, syscall, and start this program, this ls program, and give hold. Let's say we are defining, or let's say we are describing, whoever has this red box has control over the terminal. So at the start, the terminal gives control of this control box to the shell, and whenever shell has to run some command which is not a shell native command like ls, I think cd is a shell, yes, cd is a shell native command, but ls, or you run the git command or nvim, neovim, these are not shell native commands. So shell gives control of this control box to these other programs and like takes a step back, and when these programs stop executing, shell gets back the control box and it starts controlling the terminal again, the input, output, and what should be seen on the screen. So that is pretty good. Okay, JS console doesn't do this. Document and fetch are built into the runtime, not external binaries. That makes sense. Okay, the shell language itself, bash, zsh, fish, is kind of awkward and historically accumulated. Yes, the shell language itself, is it like SQL where there's a base thing and these different things provide different things on top of the base thing? Maybe it wasn't really designed as a language the way JS was. Quoting rules, words, splitting, and blocking are famously Udgan. Why? Okay. The browser JS console has a full object model like this baked in. The shell's object model is just text streams like input, output, and error. Standard in, standard out, and error. 1, 2, 3. Everything is bytes flowing through piping. The deeper inside your framing points to is there is Nothing magical about a terminal. It is just a interface to a language interpreter, same as a browser and DevTools panel or a Python REPL. The scary black box feeling people get from terminals is really just unfamiliarity with the language. Okay, so this thing said shell language. Okay, we now understand what happens when some external command is ran. Shell just gives the control to that external command, and when that command gets completes its execution, shell takes control back and starts running. Cool. Then the shell language. Okay, is there a base specification for the shell language which is then implemented by bash zsh bash zsh and fish etc, and they add their own things on top. Is that it? Yes and no. Okay, the base is pick exists. Okay, that's cool, but the relation is a bit messier than that clean model. Let's pick POSIX sh POSIX sh POSIX is portable operating system something shit. POSIX means something portable operating system interface. Makes sense. This was built so that different operating systems can have some things common, so that when some application is built, it doesn't have to be too much operating system dependent. It doesn't have to be too much operating system dependent. Okay, POSIX defines a standard shell language and utility interface. It covers things like basic syntax, quoting variables like this, control flow, pipeline redirections, a set of standard utilities like this. Okay. Awk is a standard utility. Awk is a language for mathematical expressions. This is the base spec you are thinking of. If you write a shell with this at the top, you are targeting POSIX sh. Okay, POSIX sh. This sh is the base thing which is already defined by POSIX. Okay. Bash and ZSH are POSIX compliant. Bash and ZSH both implement POSIX sh. Is there /bin/sh less cannot execute binary file? cd/bin ls. Do we have sh here? We have bax. ZSH is there. We do have sh here, which is a binary. So /bin/sh cd did not run /bin/sh pipe into this cd. Okay, shit, we are in the sh shell now. Okay, shit, pwd, where are we? Broken pipe. Shit, how do we exit? Okay, cool. Okay, we can exit this thing. Okay, there is a base shell defined by POSIX. Both bash and zsh are compliant with this POSIX sh, and then add their own extensions on top. Array, associative arrays, better completion, conditional, process substitution, etc. So your mental model is roughly correct for these two. Okay, POSIX and zsh are bash and zsh are POSIX compliant, and on top of POSIX they give their own things, and these are better completion, conditionals, process substitutions, arrays, associative arrays. Okay, fish breaks the pattern. Fish is explicitly not POSIX compliant and doesn't try to be. It is a clean redesign, nicer syntax, saner scripting, but a POSIX SH script will likely not run in the fish unmodified. Okay, fish prioritizes interactive usability over compatibility. The practical consequence, this is why scripts start with the shebang like this or this. You are specifying which interpreter to use because you cannot assume the user's default shell will understand your syntax. What will script stick to POSIX SH? Okay, scripts that need power features pick a specific shell and declare it. Okay. So there is a base SH shell which is defined by POSIX. So the basic SH shell language defined by POSIX is forked by Bash and Zsh and then extended not quite for they have their own implementation. Okay, they have their own implementation of the whole thing. That is pretty cool. Okay, so we can say that there is a base SH shell defined by POSIX, and Bash and ZH implement their own thing on top of it, and also implement the SH shell. That is cool. And fish is just out of the box. Fish is different. It is not POSIX compliant. And the reason that we have the shebang at the top of these files is because you might be using specific features which are only provided by some specific shell, and that's why you have to define which shell you are using. So that is cool. And now I guess we should move on to Starship. What does Starship do? And before Starship, let's read some discussions about Bash versus ZH. I've been a Bash user for a long time. As I have used Linux, I'm comfortable with it and its limitations as a shell and as a scripting language. If I need real horsepower, I reach for Perl or Python as needed. But lately, I have encountered people promoting ZSH as an alternative. When 5 years ago, okay, to Bash, what I haven't been able to figure out is what features ZSH brings to the table that Bash lacks. Okay, you can customize the interactive shell portion of ZSH more and easier than Bash. Okay, check out Starship. Okay, which does something similar, but for all shells, including ZSH and Bash. So I use this or something like Zoom. Oh my ZSH. Okay, they do different things. Starship customizes the prompt only and also allows you to have the same prompt configuration if you decide to try another shell. So Starship is pretty dope. We can use this for different shells. Install Starship like this with Home or anything. And if we are using Bash, which we are not using, we are using ZSH, we have to put this file at the end of ZSH eval. The same with Bash. We can use this with PowerShell, which is crazy. Okay, and then compatibility first. Get started. Okay, this is the guide, prerequisites. We have yep, installed everything. Contribution will next installation. We already did the installation. Configuration, advanced installation. To install Starship, you need two things. Get the Starship binary onto your computer. Tell your shell to use the Starship binary. We have done both of those. We just have to install it and like just run it. .rc file. Here are some aliases that I use. Some path added by Bun. Some stuff added by Vic. Environment variables, visual editor, which is the editor, and man pager. If I open something in man page, it is opened with Vim. So that is pretty cool. Some path things, stuff added by LM Studios. LM Studios is cool. Okay, let's get to configuring this thing. To get started, configuring Starship, create the this folder. Okay, and before this, before shit, next is food shit. Wait, we do have the binary for this. Next env ia. Next was Starship. Yep, we did install Starship like this. Cool. They told us to do one thing, that is this. What does this eval do? I think this eval thing takes this whole thing as an expression and runs it. Hello, you are moving to Starship. I moved away. Lol. Hey, okay, I will catch you up with my Starship that I got here. I use GoPath as slash. Wait, GoPath. Okay, share. Mine is here binary and just boot.dev binary. And is there, wait, can you configure the go path? I think you can configure the go path here, and then go stuff would be here. That is cool. That is cool. E. Yep. What does this thing do? Eval with this. Yep. Uh, what does this do? This probably evaluates like it is in the name. It initializes. Yes. For your this Starship init zsh runs the Starship binary with the init command for the zsh shell. It outputs a shell script, a bunch of zsh hooks and functions that set up the prompt. Okay, so okay, this does not override the zshrc which already is running. Cool. This is very basic now. And if we do Starship init zsh shit, Starship init zsh, that should be working. Eval, you have to do eval shit, that did work. It outputted all this text. Okay, if we do Starship init zsh and put all this text into our ship.txt and vim starship.txt, this is all the thing. Okay, cool. Zsh has a quirk where this, okay, this will then run all this thing which is outputted by Starship. Okay, that is why we need the eval command. This syntax, this will execute this command, and this command is outputting a text which is being treated as a string and will be evaluated by eval. Okay, so if we do just this dot zsh takes in, I think this should work, starship.txt. Okay, zsh or cat or ship.txt pipe the output to zsh. That also did not work. How do we give a text file to zsh to run? We could use the eval command with cat, but this should be something else. Source. Okay, shit, makes sense. Source and any other thing. Zsh file name. That does not work. Zsh Starship does not work. Would source work? starship.txt that does work, source does work. So there's a difference between running this like this if you want to execute the commands without changing your current shell's environment. Okay, this would be self-contained, and this would source would actually change the thing, or we could use the source keyword or with the dot. Cool, that is cool. Chain, whatever is cool, whatever is cool, actually cool. How's Brave? Is it crypto miner like they say? I'm looking for alternatives after Firefox for 18. Wait, shit, how old are you? 18 years? How long have you been in this? Lives in this. I think I have created this folder probably, and inside in Mac it is when you go to .config. Yep, there are these directories, and in these directories are the configurations. So there has to be a folder starship, and here starship.tom. And you can just grab the first preset from their website and tinker it. I'm using computers from 2008. It lives. Wait, no, that I mean that is cool, but here this is the you could say format. This is how things are in macOS. You don't put the files directly in the .config. You create a folder by the name of the program for which you want to write your config, and then the thing goes inside that. So why is there AI for raycast? Sketchybar, I do not use Sketchybar any longer, so you can go away. Nix, I do use Nix. Should BTOP has configuration, which is crazy. I didn't know. Shit. Wait, but this is how it is here for NeoM. Also, I mean, I didn't create these folders. They were created by default, and then the configuration went in them. Okay. So this evaluates the command. Okay. Starship. Evaluate. Okay. Shit, the LSP was running. I think I do have the SH LSP then. Shit, no, it was not LSP, it was Codium, which gave the suggestion. Used Mac2 and put it in .config. Shit, directly naked. I don't feel comfortable being naked like that. Cool, that looks cool enough. And like I wanted to clean this ZSHRC for a long time, and today is the day. Cool, so what to do now? After this, configuration is here. Configuration. This says, how do we tell? I mean, it literally says like what you are saying. Yes, it is stated in the website too. I mean, but I want to put it inside a folder which has this name. So I guess I will have to how to tell Starship where the config is. There must be an environment variable for this. Starship config equals this. Okay, cool. Starship config. Path is all this. Star. Starship config, that is the name equals home. Shit, this is also what is suggested by Codium. Source.zsh rc Okay, shit, there is a way below. Oh, shit, cool. Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, let's go through this configuration. It would be cool. And what? Wait, that. Shit, I guess this is not supposed to be gone through just like this. Why do they have AWS? To get it started, configuring Starship, create a file in this place. Make this and touch. All configuration for Starship is done in this Tom's obvious minimal language. Tom's obvious minimal language. Let's go. Okay, get the editor completions based on the config schema. Editor completions based on the schema. Okay, insert a blank line between shell prompts. Okay, okay. Replace this symbol with this symbol. Okay, shit. Yes, that is something that I do want to do. Character. That is like the key. Inside this key, put this value equal to this. Green bold. The success symbol. Segment is being set with this. Okay, that is pretty cool. Character. Package equals disable. Disable the package module, hiding it from the prompt completely. Okay, let's set up the character because this character does not look very good. And yep, we should copy this character. .config Starship and Starship character and success symbol. Hey, that is not the success symbol. Yep, that is the one we want. Green, bold green. This looks like very simple. And how do we rerun? I guess we just Starship help init config explain completions. Completions generate is Starship shell completion for your shell to standard output. Config edit the Starship. But I guess before that we should update the path for the Starship configuration is in here Starship config and cool. Okay, we did this and okay, shit. Okay, this thing changed. And this thing changed immediately. We went in the config at this command and then it just changed. Okay. That is pretty cool. Package, what do they have packages for? Configuration file. Okay, equivalently in logging by default Starship logs warnings and errors into a file named. Okay, terminology. Okay, cool. This will help us like in a generic way. There's a way, but yep, you can just use presets and change your liking. Where are presets? Okay, cool. There are presets here. Add font simple. This one. And how does Starship know that this is the thing that needs to be displayed? I guess this is the default one. And why does it say AP South? Shit. AP South is crazy. There's this cool plain text, no runtime version. Okay, that is like hardcore. Shit. That is also cool. Okay, these are the configurations. Let's see some terminology so that we do know what these configurations or presets are doing. Wait, do you have any AWS or Kubernetes related files in home directory? Wait, is that the reason? I do have. Yep, I have my AWS configuration file in the home directory, which has the credentials for AWS, which are picked up by Terraform to change things on AWS. Yep, credentials. Config. I guess I can show you config. But, I first have to check if there is anything dangerous in config. Only then I will show you. I guess not. Is it okay to show AWS login session IAM? No, shit. Okay, okay. Okay, I guess I would not show, or I can hide that one specific line. Cool. So, yep, inside the AWS config, this is the thing. So, yep, I guess, and Starship is picking up this AP South one from here, and now it says hello. Cool. Now I will paste back what I removed. 1 second. Cool. And credentials are right. Yep, but it doesn't read files. Dot files. So non-dot file related. Nope. This was inside a .aws file, and I changed the name from south1 to hello, so it is reading dot files, which is unsafe by definition. Wait, there are, yeah, shit, what is my games? Okay, okay, okay. Back to this enough side tracking terminology. Modules. What is a module? In Starship module, a completion, a component in the prompt giving information based on contextual information from your OS. For example, the Node.js module shows the version of Node.js that is currently installed on your computer if your current directory is a Node.js project. Okay, that is cool. That is cool. Modules. We can install modules which should show us information according to the context. So if we go to a Git directory, shit, permission denied is crazy. Permission denied is actually crazy. Dot config. Yep, here we see we are in the main branch, and okay, I guess I messed something up because here we were seeing this and now we don't see this. Okay, we do see this. I guess there was some error executing this sh sha command. We were not able to cd into this directory, and when the configuration broke, it Starship fell back to the basic configuration, default configuration, and that is why we saw this symbol for one command, and then we ran a command which did not fail, and Starship loaded up the configuration which we have defined. Wait, they are messing up 10 GB files on my home. Shit, that is crazy. You have 10 GB files. You should clean it up probably, and it is mostly text. How do you have 10 GB of text? Okay, modules. So we would also have GitHub Git module, which would show you the branch and things. Variable, smaller sub components, and this is called a component in the prompt. Variable, smaller sub components that contain information provided by the module. A module is broken down into variables. Okay, for example, the version variable in the Node.js module contains the version of your Node.js. Okay, by convention, most modules have a prefix of default terminal color. Example, via VIA in Node.js and an empty space as a suffix. Okay. Text. In Toml syntax, text values are declared with this or this or this. Okay, the following Starship syntax symbols have special usage in a format string and must be escaped to display as that character. This means multi-line string. Okay, these are Starship specific commands. Literal string, and they must have a space as the suffix at the end. Skipping Starship symbols. Regular string. When using the line break, multi-line, format strings versions. Okay, let's we need to change this. I do not like this AP South thing. How do we remove this AP South? AWS, there was a AWS module format, I guess. Starship.toml. Is there a character module? Yep, there is actually a character module. Okay, there we can give format and success symbol. Success symbol is one thing, and format, we can change format. The format is string used before the text input. Okay. What is the default value? Default value is symbol. And what is symbol? Symbol is something. Shit, symbol I guess is just this symbol. Error symbol, bold red. Vim command. Okay. What is symbol though? Bold green, this. And we do see hello. Shit, we do see hello. Okay. And Starship. This means what do we see? Okay, this means what do we see? Can we connect this to something else? Like AWS. We are inside AWS, and in AWS we have the format and we have a symbol. Can we refer to variables within different symbols? Two symbols within different modules. I still use master, shade, not main. There is something wrong with your config. That is why AWS is persisting. Try using a reset, then find the error after 2 months. Just now I updated my system. So now using name. Wait, you are using NewVim 1.2 right now. Shade, okay, 0.1.2, and it has this cool symbol in the middle, which is just cool. Okay, so there are modules which read the context and display things according to the context. Default prompt. So now the question is, how do these modules know what to display? And if you know that, you would be able to fix the AWS error. In Starship, module know that it has the right context to display things. Like if I have the git module, then whenever I enter a directory, does the module go through the directories in it and looks for .git file. And if we cd into a directory which is not the root directory but has a parent .git directory, then it goes to the parent. It's exactly okay. Shit. That is exactly that. Each module has its own detection logic that runs whenever you prompt it. Whenever your prompt is rendered, that is every time you hit enter or cd into a directory. For the git module specifically, it looks for .git directory or file in the case of git directories by traversing up the directory tree from your current location, not just the current directory. So if you are deep inside a project, it will walk up until it finds a .git folder, so that you know you are inside a git repo. Okay, that is cool. Generally, modules use a few detection strategies. Git looks for .git, the node looks for package.json, Python looks for this. Cool. Cool. Okay, that is pretty cool. The performance implication. Yes, this is why Starship is written in Rust. Every prompt render is wait. Starship is written in Rust. What does that mean? Starship is written in Rust. What is the thing that Starship is then doing? Starship is written in Rust. Does that check? So Starship is written in Rust. Does that mean the commands which I enter in Starship are first seen by Starship and it passes them onto the shell. It passes them onto the shell. It passes them onto the shell, and the prompt that I see is there because of Starship. So the yes. So it is not the shell that I am interacting with. Is that a legit question? I think. But this is okay, shit, this is not the right thing. Starship does not sit between you and your shell. Starship is purely a prompt re-renderer. It only runs at one specific moment right before your prompt is shown. Right after that, it is completely out of the picture. The following. Okay, you type a command, shell executes it with whatever the shell is, bash, zsh fish, Starship not involved at all. Command finishes. Shell says time to draw the prompt, run prompt command. Starship runs, collects context, prints the prompt string. Shell displays it, waits for your next input. Okay, that is very cool. That is actually very cool. If you go to n starship.com home folder, and so we will have to make do with this hello at the start for now. Starship.txt here. First of all, we don't see any syntax highlighting because move starship.txt to starship.sh. Starship.sh. Okay, now cool. What happens is here it is detecting, defines a function Starship get time that sets the time since epoch in milliseconds. Okay, like start timer and end timer at the end. Okay, cool. And then runs after the user submits the line, but before it is executed, and only if there is an actual command to run. Prompt Starship pre-exec. Okay, before the execution, we have defined a command Starship get time. Gets this function gets the time, puts it in some variable. Starship start time equals. Okay, run this and then run this. What is two hands here? Single and means run the second command after this. What is logical and? Shit. So second command only runs if the first command was true. The second command will execute if and only if the first command finishes successfully. Okay, if we were able to get the time successfully, then we make a time variable. Add hook functions. Okay, set up a function to redraw the prompt if the user switches VI mode, that is Vim. Okay, that is, I guess, the default prompt. R prompt, prompt 2. Shell. Okay, cool. After running the command, after the command finishes, Starship takes over, gets the prompt, tells what the prompt should be, and runs. Okay, if we do echo prompt command shed prompt command, so not exactly this. Okay, or if we do echo prompt. Okay, shit, we do see this. And if we run this thing, eval, command not found. Okay, okay, cool. Starship is not sitting in between, it is telling what to show, what the prompt should be. Okay, and we also know how it is looking, how the modules are looking for if they should do any contribution to the prompt, and how to share variables between modules. How do we share variables between modules? Cannot share variables within modules. Each module runs as an isolated process. And why? Because modules can run concurrently in parallel. That is how Starship is fast. Okay, they cannot share modules. But they can set up environment variables. Okay. All the let's see how can we remove. Shit, what is this? Z oxide, chemistry, Walter White. What I would like to do is remove all the modules and then one by one add only the ones that we do actually need. A smarter CD command supports all major shells. Okay, shit. This is like LSD. Okay, like run something. Okay. 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 That is one benefit, or that is the only benefit? How do we with ZSH run this command, put this at the end. This will make the Z command available. Okay, let's install this Nix packages. Let's go. Okay, let's get this new cd command, config Nix package. this would mean that I think changes have not been committed. Yep, changes have not been committed. Status shit git diff m added Starship, and now click dot nix, and we need to add this thing, x oxide, z oxide. Sudo Darwin rebuild switch, and the path is literally shit. The path is right here, and hashtag network. That works. Okay, cool. This is getting next. Okay, it removes half the aliases from your file. It actually would remove half the aliases. There are a lot of aliases. Okay, and now .zh rc Starship x oxide and eval oxide init zh source. If we go there once, documents shit, we are in root. We are in root cd or the documents programming project shit. This is not showing the right thing. Go to documents, programming is right here. Okay, why is it case sensitive? This is case sensitive. You can use NZI to view history of those paths. How to make it case insensitive? Search behavior. How to make Z oxide case insensitive. How can we even change the configuration for this? With Z oxide, we can give other things. Help anything about case I guess when we do actually move to some place, documents, programming, projects, SHA, C or Z, SHA. Okay, cool. Cool, that is pretty cool. And now back this, and how do we remove all the things? Use the new line and add a blank preset isn't quite the right way. The cleanest approach is using the built-in blank preset. Starship preset blank. Okay, give it command output to this Starship preset. Output to slash config Starship Starship.toml. Shit. Invalid value for blank. Dot config Starship and Starship.toml. Okay, now we do have the symbol. Cool. Starship preset blank output hello.txt hell.txt, and it does not work. Note, please argument preset blank oh hello. Okay, Starship command usage is unrecognized. Subcommand present makes sense. Starship preset help. What do we do after this? We given the option name preset, which is blank invalid name for name. Possible values are all these. No empty icons. These are all the names here. These are the only presets. Blank is not a preset. And how to remove all the modules from Starship. How do we remove? Request. Wait, someone wanted to add this. Someone added this. Root level format. Okay, what is this format variable? The format variable is a string that defines what gets re-rendered on your prompt in what order. The Starship has a default format value baked in that includes all the default modules. When you don't set format in your config, it uses the default. Okay, which is why you see git info. Okay. That is cool. We can just change this format variable in Starship format equals let's just for the start keep it empty. And we do still see things even though we changed the format variable. Okay, this has to go inside starship.tom. Okay, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. That literally removes everything. Literally removes everything. Okay, CD Starship. Starship. Okay, what do we want in our format? Dollar. I think this gives information about the directory. Cool. And we do get information about the directory, and directory is a module. Directory is a module, and we can change what do we see in the directory. Default truncation length 3, the number of parent folders that the current directory should truncate to 1. I want this to be 1 in Starship directory. Truncation length equals to 1. Okay, that is cool. Should that is just very cool. That is very cool. We can do whatever we want with this. Okay, do we want anything else? No. Okay, I guess that is all we need from the directory. We need some information about Git, where we are. In Docker, it would be good to see Docker information also here. Conda, C++ stuff. C is Conda is Python. Git branch and Git state, and we can even see Git status. Okay, this is just very cool. Okay, and we don't see this symbol. Let's also put character there. We do see the character. Okay, that is cool. Get in it. Using master as the name for the initial branch. Git commit m. Okay, cool. And add this to GitHub, like of course. Hello, TomDMK, how is it going? Create a new repository with Starship, the name, cool, and nothing else. And we'll use not HTTPS but SSH. For this, cool. Cool. And what we have to do is just move Starship /.git in here /.git ls, and now this. Shit, there might be two gits now. Okay, I did mess up. rm rf Starship. Okay, why do we keep seeing this? Three and three. Why do we keep seeing? Multi-line string in Toml. How do you define multi-line string in Toml? With this, using three okay, something is messed up. Okay, what? Share. Okay, I was trying to do one question, then I found out its solution, but its implementation seemed complicated. So I asked Gemini. Gemini, have you heard of GNU Sto? No. So frustrating. I mean, you can always come back to it later on when you are feeling like it, but do come back to it at some point. Sto is a symlink farm manager which manages distinct packages of software and or locations in separate directories on the file system and makes them appear to be installed in the same place. For example, this could be containing this could contain symlinks to files within all these places, to Emacs, to etc. and wait, likewise recursively for any other subdirectory such as this and so on. This particular usefulness for keeping the track of system-wide and per user installation of software built from different sources. So this is a dot file manager. Yep, Nix does the same, but right now I'm using Nix only for installing packages. I do want to use Nix for defining the configuration also. New, I guess I will do a stream on it tomorrow. Let's yeah, that would be cool. Using Nix for defining the configuration also. Right now I'm just using it as a package manager, which is leaving a dot on the table. Okay, well, how is this wrong? It's just a random new line. I guess yes, that is a thing. Right, we did saw it here at the top. Add new line, and add new line is inside. Add new line is a generic thing, not a package specific thing. Add new line. Okay, and Starship Toml. What is the name? Add new line. False. Okay, that looks much better. That looks much better. Get status. Get push shit. Origin is not a commit. Git nothing. Hmm. Hmm. Recursive. Hmm. Git clone. This and cp starship dot toml into starship move directory inside directory shit move why is there a dot get here recursively dot get remove move starship everything from there to here. Starship slash dot get to here add get Starship config initial get push origin main, and that works. That works. That works. That was very messy, but okay. Starship configuration, we have this as the initial configuration, and that does look pretty cool. Character is like what to show. There are different modules. If we refresh, we should see. Cool. Git push u origin main. Help. And this opens in new, which is pretty cool. U or set up a stream. Okay. Wait. Set up a stream? Set. What is up stream in Git? There are two things. One is for the fork and one is for the original. Refers to the relation where the code flows from a primary source down to your local repository. It is used in two primary contexts. Upstream as a remote repository in a collaborative environment. The upstream repository is the official central project from which you clone your fork, and upstream, that is the definition that I know. And this setting up upstream would work when I have main defined and shit push you, and that the main set to track. Okay. Git status. Yep, we made before git status, git state and git branch. Let's see, how do we show git branch? Git branch module shows the active branch in your repository, and let's see what the default is for this. Cool, that is the default, but shit, I don't want to see this here. First I want to see this, and then this, and this just like does not look good. I want to remove the symbol. Okay, see, format is symbol, branch, remote branch, and style. Okay, this is the default format, and also on is there, and symbol is this default symbol. That is that messed up something. Okay, shit, format. That is good, that is good. We do see this random text symbol and then main, but we just want to see main. Only the branch. And style, whatever the style is, we don't see the branch even though we are inside a branch. Error in module get branch hash expected value. Shit, okay, how? Makes sense. Like here we are seeing how to show this. This is also similar. Let's say bold green, and we do see this in bold green. Space here, and this inside brackets does not work. We want literal brackets. Okay, cool. We do have brackets, and this green is not very beautiful. How do we change the green? Red? That looks better. But how do we change the position of these things? Makes sense. We change their position in format. Okay, the directory name, GitHub branch, and then this. Okay, cool. That is very cool. That looks very good, very clean. Can I get MIT CSE? Wait, can I get MIET CSE at 55 percentile OBC NCL? Shit, what is NCL? But uh, I don't think so. I don't think so. My friend got 84 percentile and he got AIML. Yes, but that was 3 years ago. Maybe things have changed, but you have OBC, so maybe you can get symbols from Nerdfont Symbols website. Yep, that is cool. Like here, they have defined symbols. This is a Nerdfont symbol. Cool. And okay, symbols. Do I want symbol? This is cool. This is cool, but I can get symbol. Okay, let's use a crazy symbol. Nerd. Without a mouse. Without a mouse. H Vimium. Let's go. Some crazy. Well, now I would have to use mouse to zoom in. Shade. So nerd font is saying all these icons are given to you by all these different things, and nerd font has all of these combined. Okay, it is like the ad done by Audi. Shit, that looks pretty cool. That symbol. NPM. Wait, it would be cool if I get this symbol whenever I am in a Git repository. Wait, that would actually be cool. That would actually be cool. This Git symbol. Nerd font, Git symbol. Wait, that is the main website. Cheat sheet, DM, Git. Yep, this thing. Exactly this thing. I guess if you just put this name there, that should work. This one looks better. This one like actually looks better. And this is similar to what we are already using right now. Do we just copy this? Let's see. No, shit. We copy the symbol. How do we copy the symbol? Copy icon. Cool. We got the icon. And okay. This should not be inside. Cool. Here. That is too much space. Okay, that looks good. That looks good, I think. But no. This is fine. This is fine. Shit, yes. Literally, there's a copy button. Wait, they also have a translation to what this would look like in UTF. Oh, they have the code, UTF code. Okay, we got Git folder, Git directory, Git branch. There are different Git things also. Always show remote, false, symbol, style, bold purple, the style for the module, bold purple. Okay, I think we can define style differently and then use it inside. or we can use any variable name, I guess. My style equals bold purple, and then in here use my style. Does that work? That does not work. Configuration. My style unknown. Did you mean style? Makes sense, I think. Okay, bold purple, cool. And what else? We want to see get state. Okay, this would be cool. This would be cool. Whether we are inside merge, bisect, em, whatever em is, apply mailbox, get em status. Okay, cool. Shit, this would actually be cool. Get status. After this, show get status and any configuration and get status format. What is the default format? Default is this. We see the state, progress, current, progress, total, and the style. Okay, that is good enough. Let's. It is showing even though nothing is happening. Only so show get status when something is happening. What rebase? Okay, what should be shown if rebase is happening, but if nothing is happening, how do we disable what disables the get state module? Using get status module in Starship, and only want to show the status when merging or rebasing. How do we do that? You cannot do this purely within the Starship get status module. It doesn't have the conditional display logic at that level. You use a custom module instead. Okay, we will have to use a custom module. Customize get status command is this. Actually a cleaner when condition. Okay, so why did you give this one? Command custom get format style same as we would see, but this would happen when test f get rev parse get directory merge head rebase head. Then command, okay, we are putting command either merging or rebasing, and when this should be shown test get. Okay, depend. Okay. We are putting command either equal to merging or rebasing, and we are only showing that command when this thing passes merge head. And if this thing fails, only then this thing runs. Merge head rebase merge. What does this does? Get rev parse get rev parse help pick out and massage message parameters. Manigit porcelainish commands take a mixture of flags, that is parameters that begin with a dash and parameters meant for the underlying get rev list command. What does this rev list do? ref parse to. Yep. Copy. For resolving and translating it references into raw values. Okay, this ref parse head. Okay, give the actual SHA-256 code for this head. SHA-256, SHA of the tip of the main, this just the tip, and short. Okay, the one you saw, get dir. This thing gives with. Okay, shit, whether this is a git directory or not. This just returns the path to the git directory if we are inside a git directory. Git rev parse git dir. Okay, if you go outside the git directory, git rev parse like gitter and nothing, we get error. That makes sense. Here we can put this into dev null and put 2, which is error, into 1, and if this thing gives an error, then run echo no git. So if the current file and directory is not a git directory, then we will see no git. Otherwise we will see the path to the .git folder. No git operation not permitted. Shit, that is not an operation. We are actually putting something there. Or we could say 2 into /dev/ null. NULL. Okay, shit. I messed up the null part. Put only the error. Yes, put only the error into dev null. Makes sense. No git. And when we go inside a git directory and run the same command, we get path. Cool. So we want to change git status false. Git status false. Specifically, disabled is equal to false. We just change it equal to true. N Starship disabled equals true, and if we go inside a rebase situation, let's commit this, git add this, test touch 1, git add it. We will go inside a rebase condition, test this, and okay, we have now one branch, touch 2, add git commit m test git switch feature branch shit git switch B, I think, or C or something. I guess C, to create a branch if it does not exist. Cool. Okay, we are inside the feature branch, and if we do ls, we have all this. Git status, this is also merged, and touch 3, git add git commit m is test, and git switch create a branch feature 2, but git switch main, git on top of the main branch, git switch create feature 2, git feature 2, git, or ls we won't see file number 3, we don't see file number 3, touch file number 4, git add commit m test status. Okay, ls. Right now we have a crazy structure. What I looked at a solution of 1400 rated problem. It is kind of insane. It does feel at the start insane. So we have the main branch. It has a feature 1 branch and feature 2 branch. What we will do is we will take this whole branch and we will rebase it on top of feature 1, feature 2, which would be cool. So how do we do this? Git rebase, and the target of rebase is feature. Rebase, ah shit, it just happened. There were no merge conflicts. The problem is that you have a n by m grid filled all from shade, and make sure no adjacent cell difference is prime. What does that mean? Fill all cells from 1 to this, make sure no, okay, adjacent cell is prime. Okay, so just fill in non-prime numbers from the start to the end. That should not be too difficult. You can just find out all the prime numbers, and if the current number is a prime, then just do not put it there and only use non-prime numbers. And for that you can, and you cannot repeat numbers, I suppose. You can have a list or a set where you are putting all the numbers that you have already used, and yeah, like you can figure it out. It's cool. No one is watching. Let me do this. Cool. We just want to see whenever there is a merge. I guess that is cool. What we have right now in Starship, RM, RF, or git switch main. And how do we delete branches? In git branch delete branch. If you are sure you want to delete it, use a capital D, big D. That is cool. Okay, and git log, git no pager log and graph one line. Graph is a thing. Okay, shit. After n we have to put in the name, but it's fine. Cool. Git rebase onto head minus 1 2 3 4. That would mean git number 1. Git squash rebase I. E cool squash. Okay, cool. Cool. Added git. Wait, one. Then after that, you fill the even indices. Right. This would make you sure the difference between them is 2m or 3m, which is no prime. So it is kind of insane. It is. I think you can just put all the numbers from 2. Yeah, all the even numbers except 2. Shit, that should be good enough. All the even numbers in any order, whatever. And the, yeah, cool. What else do we want? Yep, I would like to have some LSP support here. And before LSP support, wait, there was also this get status thing, which we haven't done. Get status, what does it show? We already have get status. We want get state is different from get status. We are using state. Status get state. Okay, shit, what is this? The format shown when this branch is ahead of the branch being tracked, behind of the branch that is being tracked. Formation shows when the branch is right there. Okay, the ahead current branch is ahead. What does this and this mean? Question mark. The format shows when there are untracked files. There are untracked files. Okay. There are untracked files. That is gone. Cool. And this modified when modified files. Okay, that is fine. That is fine. We I would like to have this. I would like to have this. This is cool. Stats. Status state. Branch should be shown at the end. Cool. That looks cool. This means our current file is ahead. This means untracked files, modified files. Cool. But showing them without, what is the default? Default format is this. Cool. Remove this and this. Do you see? Should we still see this? Wait, we are changing status. Should we are changing state? Cool. And like now everything is gone because disabled is. Style is bad. Bold red. Uh, all status ahead, behind. Okay, now we do see the color. Before you are not. Okay. This would make. Then when I asked for a new configuration video and you linked me to a playlist, he started posting about them again recently. Viro, that is cool. Viro is cool. I guess he made a video about new things, about lazy Vim configuration. Okay, what did you say? Then when you go to the next row up, you fill up the second row by the next m numbers. This would cause no problem if m itself is not a prime, but if it is, then you simply fill the odd indices. Okay, shit, I would have to read the question and get to know this. Just fill them row by row 1 to m. If m is a prime, then you first add fill all indices, then you fill even indices, only even. Odd is prime, so if you just fill blindly, you may accidentally run into it. Yep, I guess yeah, I'm unable to understand it from this, my bad. Right now let's do this. Git status. Okay, git can, I guess prompt is fine. The prompt that we are seeing here is pretty cool. This is cool for prompt. That is, yep, satisfactory. Now I want to fix the part that, yeah, this thing. When I press git and go up, I should only see commands which are by git, which start with the word keyword git. So what is the thing for this? Is this config option that does the following. Yes, if I enter git and then press up arrow, I should only see commands that start with git. Share Starship only handles the prompt re-rendering. Okay, so how do we do this? In your ZSH, do this blind key up arrow. Okay, that is not a Starship. What you are describing is a shell history substring search or prefix based search history, which is a feature of your shell itself, not a shell prompt plugin. Okay, makes sense. Since you are likely on ZSH, a few ways to get this is this: built into ZSH natively. We are not going to use oh my ZSH. Keybind. Bind key. Whenever you press A up arrow, this means something. History, reverse search, backward and forward. Okay, let's copy this and put this to source. Okay, cool. That works. Cool. That does work. Pretty cool. And okay, that is also done. Now I would also like to see completions like LSP. Suggestions shown in gray text after the cursor as if LSP was running. Inline auto suggestion, and again not a Starship feature, it is a ZSH feature. Get editor completions based on the config schema. Okay, config schema. What is this option? Yes, it is not a Starship config option, it is a JSON schema reference that is only meaningful for your editor LSP when you have this line in your Starship.toml editors like VS Code or Nivim. The toml LSP will fetch the schema. Okay, will fetch the schema from there, and they would know what kind of things are there expected. Yes, salute. And you can use a ZSH plugin called ZInit for these. Super useful. Do you want my file for that? Okay, that would be cool. That would be cool. Wait, I guess I can find your file. .com/y or you made a commit. NixOS on NixOS closed. Shit. Okay, makes sense. You deleted it from your side. Wait. Cool. You might have it there. Okay, you only have 3 repositories, which is crazy, and all of them are for others. Pandey. What is? Oh, makes sense. Your repository is private. No one can see it. You are making contributions. Pretty cool. So I can use ZInit for the auto suggestion instead of using this ZInit versus, wait, what is ZInit? Most commonly known as a open source barcode generator. Is a fast and flexible plugin manager for Z Shell designed to reduce startup time while maintaining high levels of customization. It allows you to install and manage plugins, snippets, and completions from various sources, including GitHub. Oh my, there is a this. So this is a plugin manager. Very cool. Yeah, yeah. You can send on Discord. This is a plugin manager. So what are plugins in ZSH? Just pre-written code written by someone else. Right, cool. Just like new plugins. and ZSH is a plugin manager. Hmm. But why would I need a plugin manager? Send. Okay, cool. I don't know if I want to open Discord here. Why do I need a plugin manager? If I can just go there and copy, I think ZSH plugins are a single file, so I can just copy it. Uh, or should they could be multi-lines. Uh, they could have their whole structure. Yep. So you can see Dreams of Autonomy video. His Dreams of Autonomy is pretty cool. I saw his NextOS video. So that was cool. And he was also talking about something called P2 something or PM2. He was talking about something. It automatically installs those whenever in a new machine. Yes, that is cool. That's cool. So I wouldn't manually have to install them. Makes sense. Z init. Plugin manager. Z init load is very cool. Startup time. Hmm. Hmm. Can we not use Nix to install this? Okay, shit, that was cool. Okay, I do have to use X. Okay, or an alias would be cool. Yo, let's go. Okay, it is working. CD next. Okay, cool. That is like very cool. And Z init. Z init is not there. So how can we tell if we run this command? This would install the thing. Wait, shit. Like, wait, is it installing some random plugins? I don't want some random plugins. Wait. No. Cool. Okay. Okay. Uh, next pkg which available there, but how do I install, or how do I tell Nix to install packages which have some script install.sh script which must be ran to install them. Yeah. Why do we always generate a unique QR code? Is there a global database for QR? No, there is not a global. There is a no. QR codes are, they inherently have information. QR code, uh, like the way that you define a QR code, it depends on the text which you are encoding into the QR code. So you cannot have two QR codes which have different meanings because those specific dots, they represent or they encode that information which you are representing in QR code. Should you have worked quite a bit for something that is private? Wait, what am I looking for here? For now. Dot files, and also you have this thing, cool, modules hosts dot. Shit, okay, okay, okay. That is cool, that is cool. You have this directory dot which have all your dot files, but new configuration is also here. Okay, okay, shit. And you can also split your new configuration. So shit, you are not using lazy here to install packages. Btop Niri. Shit, what is Niri? You were talking about Niri. It uses some KLD language. KDL. Shit, Niri is that thing. Window manager. Home programs. sh.nic. Okay, you have. Okay. Aliases is an object which has this, and then why is there this brown thing here? And then you are using this aliases object in here. Shell aliases becomes equal to that object. Okay, enable equals to programs.bash. Bash enabled true. Okay, shell aliases. Okay, okay, you are configuring the shell. Okay, okay, that is like very your go path makes sense. This is your whole configuration for like .zsh rc file. Should you use bash and zsh both? BFS on a non, you can do BFS on any direct, does not matter if the tree is graph is directed or non-directed. Yes, if it has loop, then you will keep, no, you will not keep going in because you will have your visited vector, and yep, you will be checking your visited vector. But this is in Nix format, not ZSH. This one, this is in Nix. Should you use specify, that is cool. And desktop, you can stream in 1080p 4K in Discord in a reasonable time. Yes, you can. Depends on the how many vertex there are, and you can do it in reasonable time. This is Nix sh.nix. Wait, how do I install something like this where it needs a command? Put this in bash rc. And also I would like to see how you have divided up your whole thing. Flake.nix. So that is Inputs, outputs. Okay, we are not getting to next right now. Right now, I just want to see how do we install something in Next which uses a command to install. If you have 10 power 5 vertex, I guess you won't be able to do it because no, no, if you add 10 power 5 plus 10 power 5, you get 2 into 10 power 5, not square, because shit, you are just adding these two. If you add 10 and 10, you do not get 100. The thing is not there. Derive derivation yourself. If you tell Nix how to build it, what sources, what dependencies it needs, instead of running shell install dot shell, no, I want a way so that I can just copy command, use run command for simple cases. If the install script is literally copying files around, you can replicate what it does inside a derivation. You don't know what a derivation is? There in it, there is it. And like you have worked very hard for your things. It will be in ZSH format. ZSHRC. Wait, so you have two source of truth for your ZSHRC. You have it here and also in your NixOS configuration. So how do you keep them synced? Yep. How do you keep them synced? And also, hey, that is cool. That's cool. You have this. A and B. Substring history backward search. Backward character. Backward word. Shade. I would change this to just end. What I basically want to do is, imagine you have a undirected graph and you hold one vertex in your hand and let the rest of the fall by gravity. I want to count the total number of odd levels in the graph. Do DFS, just do DFS. Yep, DFS would also work. You don't have to do BFS. Okay, if you have next package, like how many operating systems are you changing? That is crazy. And you also use Rust. Editor, new Zerin. Shit, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. If Zedinit is not installed, then install it. And cool. If it is, then don't do anything. And this is put here by ZSH, by Zedinit. It is what? It is downloading those packages somewhere. If I do this with BFS, it would be No, it would not be V square. You, I am suggesting DFS instead of BFS because DFS would also work. DFS would also work. I'm just suggesting DFS because it is simpler to implement. Okay, and this for installing packages ZSH, and yep, the package suggested was this ZSH auto suggestion, and we installed 3 packages, and they are installed here, Rust, HDL. Okay. Oh shit, how do we see plugin name? Help, help. Information keybinds cd list of installed completions, list packages. Shit. Compiled. Okay, these are the packages. Okay, I would delete them. That is delete. That is crazy. Annex as monitor. No such. I guess we have to give the full name Z D annex as monitor. That does not work. Shit, because we have to say delete. And still does not work. Clean, delete all, yes. Okay, cool. And uninstall that dharma. Okay, cool. And we want to install this package. Yes, we just copy this. How do we install a package? A plugin. How to install auto suggestion plugin using ZNet. See the bottom of our file syntax highlighting should be at bottom. It you also have syntax highlighting. Init light this. Okay, shade. This is for syntax highlighting. Light. What is the light command? Light. Light plugin load without reporting tracking to the um, the command in this that for manager for ZSH that loads plugin rapidly by disabling tracking and reporting features. It acts like a fast light version alternative to load. Okay, so first you install a package, load priority like stuff. Loading priority like stuff. If I do not have, then it will install. Hook returned with 1. Why? This file not found. Hmm. Hmm. Fast syntax highlighting. Is this the one that you are using? Nope, you are using this. And shared function definition file not found. Uh, Dreams of autonomy. Yep, he will help a lot. Let's say if you are holding the graph at one vertex and any two vertex differ by level x, then when we hold it by another vertex with the same no, no, they would not. Depends if you are using the same path or not. But if you choose some other vertex, you might use some other path because you are in a graph. Yep, any two vertex differ by level x, then when you, yep, but yes, depending on how you are holding them, yep, it would change. Dreams of autonomy. Yep, I will watch his video like after this. Cool, ZNet, and these are all your ZNet commands. Eyes, light, and what is this error? Claudium, Claude code. Shit, whenever there is an error, we see this because we haven't changed the configuration. CD Starship N Starship dot format this success symbol. Error symbol is also this. Instead of this should be red. Okay. And ls. Okay. That was an error, but we didn't see. Starship.toml error symbol inside directory. Wait, no, this is not the directory thing. This is character. This is character. Character. Success error symbol. Yep, we redefined error symbol. Bold red. Oh shit. Makes sense. Okay, now it is red. Cool. Makes sense. Makes sense. Yes. I messed up. Like rookie mistake. Now the only things remaining are this, fix this error, and that would be it. After this, I will watch ZSH Z Init video by Dreams of Autonomy. He's pretty cool. These errors mean that ZInit is trying to use NXE's ZInit extensions that aren't installed. All these install the default packages. Because we deleted the default packages, we got error. Cool. Packages are installed. Now we can do ZInit light syntax highlighting. Okay, shit. Oh, I have used syntax highlighting for the first time in my life in ZSH. This looks very good. It even gives underscore this under thing. Shade, and combine this with what are the things you are using? Syntax highlighting, syntax highlighting, and auto suggestion. Auto load. Wait, shit. You don't use any auto suggestion thing? No, that is fine. Like normal human being states, he and me use yes P10K. P10K was the thing that he was saying, and I think he was saying that P10K is now archived. Think it is archived? No, it is not archived. Okay, cool. This is also used for this stuff. So why are you using this, not Starship? I mean, Starship looks simple enough. Okay, that is cool. It is alive again. I think he made a video, or not. I think I know he made a video that he did something with it, and he got it closed. Too much symbols. Shit, bro, using everything. Shit, this just looks very cool. Okay, and whenever we enter something that is not a command, we get red. This is just very cool. No, yes, what do you use for auto suggestion? There isn't anything here. And also if I fork this thing, dots y2k, shit, I don't know your name, y2k4. Shit, you are 22 years old. FZF tab option, so freaking cool. Wait, fuzzy finder. This is difficult to pronounce. A command line fuzzy finder. Shit, they have a whole community, literally. Wait, what is this used for? ZF. Is it a ZSH plugin, or it is an interactive filter program for any kind of list, files, command history, process, host names? Okay, like I will look it up. Yep, cool. I will see his video. And yep, yes, and if you make your repository private, will I still see this thing here? That is crazy. So can you like make your repository private? This would be an experiment, and you have alacrity. Shit. Sway. So Vim, actually Vim, not even, literally this is Vim, not even Neo Vim. Auto suggestion. This. Okay, and shade. I do CLS. Shade. That is very good. Wait. And okay, shit. This is now like my repository. This does not say that this is for. This is literally my repository now. Bro. Wait, so if I remove, close, shade, everything is gone. Everything is literally gone. Okay, makes sense. Okay, cool. This has to run, and the auto suggestion. This I suppose makes it wait for some second. Auto suggestion and highlight, 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 highlight. I have your configuration. I can see highlight. How to highlight? I guess these are needed for the other ones to load because I was getting error otherwise, but you don't have them in your configuration, and your configuration is still working. Wait, what is that error? Last login, who is printing last login? No such file or directory. OPT home to, okay, okay, okay. Fatal could not create tree directory. This, okay. That should fix one of the errors. That does not fix one of the errors. No directory or file. Z profile. Fatal could not create work tree, Z profile, these are the three configuration files. Well, I mean, one of them is not configuration file. Which one is loading that other thing? Should you want image rendering? Okay, goes to a slow. Shit. It was not meeting our expectations. Image rendering. Do you watch like movies on this? Mhm. Okay, cool, cool. I guess everything is cool here. Yazi, file manager. Shit. Written in Rust. Okay, there are a lot of things. Yazi, you said Yazi, and also FZF. Like I have nearly 50,000 files with Yazi and image rendering. I can preview those without opening. Preview those right without opening. Scroll preview. Shit. Okay, okay, that is cool. File manager. Can I hook this up with NeoVim and not use NetRW and use this instead? Int. So this is like just folder uh, inside. Okay, let's go. Cool. This is like, yep, my folder or my directory inside terminal. Cool. Task manager. Cool. Shit, Yazi NeoVim. So now I will look up two things, this and FZF. We said I figured out one case for the problem. If there is a loop with odd number of vertex, then answer is 0. If there is a loop with odd number, you need to find out how many. Answer, I guess in that case answer would not exist. So I guess -1 or something. Tab will be in his video itself. Okay, shit, cool, 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 cool. Yeah, and he also does not have a lot of videos, which is surprising. Yep. Oh my gosh, you said that. Oh my gosh. Which one? Z oxide. Z oxide for CD. The better CD. Cool. I guess I can just watch all of them. Home lab. Oh my gosh. PK10. Cool. 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 Shade. That is his channel. Okay. I did saw that, but I didn't see videos. Dreams of code. Okay, that is his bigger channel. NewVim. Let's go. Bro has NewVim stuff. Meet go faster. NewVim. Okay, that would be helpful. C++ setup better than Copilot. Okay, that would Codium. Go. Chat him. Okay. That is cool. Now I guess I will go through his thing. Can you make me a moderator so I can? I guess you cannot send links even if you are a moderator. Add as moderator, standard moderator. Yep, I do use Codium. Nope. I think CodeRabbit is paid. I have not used, and yep, pricing. Yeah, it takes. Wait, shit, there's a free version also, and it is for pull requests. Shit. No, no, that is fine. Because I don't have to go through them right now. I'm just taking their screenshots. I'll go through them one by one. Shit, I guess I've done this problem. Shit, I have not done this problem. Ah, wait, there's a message. No, that is fine. Co- CodeRabbit is specifically for pull requests. So, and I haven't made a lot of pull requests. Cool, let's go, let's go. You can do this. This is 1400 rated. That is easy. And test it out. Test it out. This was review stuff, not like yep, review stuff, review stuff, review stuff. So, if I am doing a commit on my own repository, can I use this? Pushing commits onto my own repository. Pro plan, cool. I guess I do have Copilot access because of the student program. Copilot settings, Copilot features. Yep, there are requests remaining. But the thing is, I think if I go there and if I switch and there is a key map, I forgot what the key map was, but there is a key map which can switch. This is what tab is basically. AW, yes. Agent switch. Now, which agent is working right now? Shit, I don't know which agent is working right now. Codium, shit, AW prints which agent is working. How to switch agents? There was a key map. AG, AG, AG. Yep. Now Codium is disabled and Copilot is working. Let's get some suggestions. Vim dot app dot shit. Copilot. Hello. Hello. Shit. Copilot is not working. Yeah, Codium is fine. Codium is fine. Cool. And it will probably never use Codium. Wait, you will never use Vim for coding stuff? What do you use Vim for? For the vibe? Shit. And just to be part of the community, that is why you use NewM. For Java, it is too basic. Can get myself to use it for code. Okay, shit. For only editing. So, what do you use for actually writing code? Game is not working. Cool. So, or oh, closed Brave. My bad. Yes, it is me. Shit. Why? Why does it need to verify? Oh, cool. Cool and cool. Top chat, live chat. JetBrains for simple languages like Python, VS Code. Okay, sure. You have different code editors for different languages. Okay, and this is my solution. If there are odd loops, then answer is 0. Odd loops, then answer is 0. Otherwise, you can take two adjacent vertices and run BFS, DFS on them and find the number of odd vertices, then output their maximum. Okay, you have to find out the biggest loop. But I might be thinking implementation would be crazy for this. How would you find out different loop? A loop could be part of another loop, right? You could have crazy loops like this and this connected somewhere. And I guess so what we have done today is we changed this thing. Shade that. Beautiful. We changed the prompt here, which looks very, very, very cool. I would like to add a little space. CD Starship and Starship.toml. Can we add a single space? That does. Shit, we are getting a new line. Yes. But you don't get space for the things, for the commands that are running. Cool. So without a space is fine. Cool. So we have done all this in Starship configuration using toml. Config finish. Git push. Origin main. Password. Cool. Okay. Cool. That is pretty cool. We changed the configuration. We have syntax highlighting here, which is very cool. And also the auto suggestion thing, which is even cooler. Yep, you can use DFS. You can use any algorithm to find out loops, DFS or VFS. You would have to see how you are doing it actually. Some change in the implementation of base DFS. I actually used Arch 6 years ago because I had an old PC and Windows. Yeah, hello, that's why you are also moderator. You became a moderator in the Gen 2 stream. After getting a good laptop, I switched to Windows. Isn't this like, why do you use Windows when you know all this Linux stuff? Lazy Git? Nope. Simple UI for Git commands. Like, I guess this would be useful when I'm working on big project. Two moderators, and not two. There is also a third one who is my friend in IRL. Share. 6 months before I switched to Linux back. Okay, that is cool. And shit, you might be feeling like an outsider, or like uh, because other two are moderators. Okay, they also have sponsors. Shit, bro has Cuban cigar, anime, girly. Cool. So lazy git is for TY over git. Yo. So that is cool. We have changed this prompt, added syntax highlighting, which looks very good, and this suggestion is cool. Three things. Cool. Lazy dick, lazy git, lazy docker is also there. Yep, I guess yes was also talking about lazy docker. Lazy vim was also there. Can you find out all possible loops using DFS? All possible loop. I guess you should be able to find out all possible loop. Yeah, you should be able to find out all possible loops. But what do you mean by all possible loops? Because there could be a lot of possibilities. Like if you have a loop like this, how many loops are there? There is this loop, this, this, and then these smaller loops, and then the bigger ones. This is a loop, then this is a loop. It depends on what you are looking for in a loop. Use npm, right? Okay, you just give a list of suggestions. Shade, I would have seen all the things if I had forked shit, your Nix config. Where is your Nix config? Can you send it again? Dots and Nix dots. Cool. And shit, you made it private again. Oh. All the loops. Shit. Shit, that would be crazy. You want to find all the loops. Yeah, you will have to do some implementation stuff. I have not done this. How to find all these loops? You would have to do it. Wait, get Jujutsu. Jujutsu is a version control thing. Git compatible VCS. That is both simple and powerful. But I mean, Git is cool. Yeah, you should not switch from Git to anything else and still be using Linux. If you want to switch from Git to something else, then you should not use Linux, because you have to have faithfulness towards Linus Torvalds. That is the only true religion. Lazy npm, Docker kids. It, all of these are by folk. Think. Well, key E, folk. Yep. E. Cool. And that would actually be it for today. How long has it been? Say why you are saying goodbye. You could just say bye. Goodbye is too dramatic. Okay, just lazy one. Okay, Jeffy. Okay, okay. Now better. Both Kid and JJ in the same time. Disc. Okay, okay. I will come to Discord now. Cool. And yep, I don't get this. What is this? Yep. Why? How could you use two of them, and why would you use two of them at the same time? And like we will continue the discussion tomorrow. Tomorrow I also have to go to college. Yep. So I'll be sleeping, and that would be it for today. We customized our prompt using Starfish. We have syntax highlighting and also auto suggestion. Pretty cool. And thank you for being here.